taking over for the next couple runs for hosting. And let's just start off with a couple donations we have. We have a $250 anonymous donation. Says, kudos to everyone involved, doing such a fun event to help out such a noble cause. Save the animals. We have another donation from Fancy Pants McGee, a $50 donation that reads, always an awesome event for a great cause. Save the frames and save the animals. We have a $250 donation from Blargle150. I'm taking all the week off of work just to watch SGDQ. Priorities. We have a $50 donation from Loop Zero. I've only been aware of GDQ for a month or so, and I'm addicted. Here's some cash for a good cause. We have a $50 donation from Mega Patches. Hey there, I'm one of the long-time watcher, first-time donors we've been hearing so much about. I look forward to these events every year and think that this is the most amazing cause and we can make a difference doing so. Keep up the good work. Thank you. We also have a $25 anonymous donation. Thanks for putting on such a great show for a great cause. Good way to spend the July 4th holiday. Also, let's save the animals for a change.
When I last checked it about an hour ago, Blue was ahead by 300.
I think there's a couple hundred on each. Can we see individual donations now?
Yes, it's not intuitive to find, but it's there somewhere.
Someone anonymous $500 donation.
Nice.
Just a reminder to everyone, you are watching Summer Games Done Quick 2016. We are sponsored by Twitch. Thank you so much for watching and hope to continue with more.
Yeah, go ahead. Come on up. They're going to be up here soon anyway, so you might just think go to the seats of honor. More LADX people than we can realize.
I was surprised how much of the crew is here.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
No, Zorlax was going to offer me a headset, but he's got too many people here for that.
Hello everyone, I'm zorlaxseven, and this is Link's Awakening DX. We're going to be doing 100% today. Before we start, let's get a roll call from the couch. I said I'm zorlaxseven.
I'm Sikinar.
Roll call.
I'm Savas09C.
I'm Cransoon.
And I'm JTB.
They're all LADX runners, and I'm happy to have them here. So I guess I'm going to get ready to go. I guess I'll count myself off. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is 100% LADX. So does anyone want to give a rundown of the rules real quick for that?
Sure. Yeah. So 100% is basically any percent route, but with an addition to a lot of collectibles that you can acquire throughout the game, such as upgrades to weapons and like your sword, your shield. There's these photographs that you can collect as well that you kind of have to go around and procure, and just various little side quests and features throughout the game.
Yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go get the sword. So the sword's on the beach. We're going to do something called owl skip. Or do we have a name for it, actually?
Quick sword, isn't
Quick
it?
sword. Quick sword, yeah. Forgetting all the tricks already. First minute of the run. Don't know what I'm doing. It's okay. So the first thing we do to do quick sword, we're just going to hold the shield out, and that extends our hitbox, and we can grab the sword before the owl leaves, which saves maybe about 1 second or so. And that's quick sword.
Nice.
So in 100%, we go by the rule set: no save and quit, wrong warp, and no out of bounds. No wrong warp, no out of bounds. We'll try that one more time. Save and quit, no wrong warp, no out of bounds. So we won't be going to the doghouse. We won't be walking on ceilings, but we will be saving and quitting throughout the run. So we saw me save and quit right there, brought me back to the house. So we'll use that to save some backtracking. So first trick in the run we're going to have is Moblin Skip. Does anyone want to explain Moblin Skip and what it does and what it skips?
Yeah, so Moblin Skip is basically we're going to be kind of manipulating some enemy RNG after exiting the log cavern up here. And pretty much we're going to manipulate the Moblin so that he'll shoot an arrow upwards while we're crossing a pit, and that will give us a damage boost across that pit, and it'll give us a sequence break that allows us to get the tail key a little bit early, something like a minute time save over getting the powder first and then sprinkling it on Terran.
Yeah, so Terran's a raccoon right now, and he's going to stay a raccoon for the rest of the game. So that's just we're gonna roll with it.
That's just how it is.
So this guy needs to face up, and he's not working with me right now.
Yeah, his RNG can be pretty finicky sometimes where he refuses to go up.
Yeah, he's really working against me. There you go. So I need to bump him a little bit, and then we're across the gap.
Nice.
Easy peasy. Okay, we also got something called owl skip.
Nice.
So look at the owl, just watch the owl the entire time. Keep on watching, and that's it.
And he's
Goodbye.
So it's hard to explain really what's going on there, but with the well-placed pause buffer, we can skip that whole series of text, and that saves about 5 seconds. So we got the level 1 key, so we'll be going to level 1 shortly, but before that, we need to do a bunch of stuff in the town. We need to get a few items. First thing we have to get in the town is the magic powder. Since we didn't get that in the beginning of the game like we're normally supposed to, we'll get it from the trendy game. The trendy game is really difficult. It's pretty precise in grabbing the powder instantaneously. So we're gonna try that right now.
Yeah, we're hoping for a first try
Yeah.
here. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Standard 93.
Shout out to Standard. I think I got it, guys.
Oh,
I
man.
think I got
This
it.
could be it.
The legendary
The legendary first try
trendy.
powder. The reality is that's really easy to do every time.
Yeah.
Only maybe 1 or 2 notable runners have missed that. I'm one of them. So another part of 100% is we have to collect 20 seashells to get the level 2 sword. So that's the first of 20. There are actually 26 seashells in the game, but after you collect 20, you can grab the level 2 sword, and then after you grab the level 2 sword, all the seashells disappear. That's stealing. Stealing is an intended part of the game, like that's actually programmed into the game. It changes our name to Thief, but also more importantly allows us to not have to buy the shovel, and we're not going to have to buy the bow. So the shopkeeper does kill us, but we have to roll with that.
Otherwise, you'd have to collect about 1,200 rupees
Yeah.
throughout the run.
Yeah.
So I just saved and quit to buy some bombs. That saves about 10 rupees in like a second or two. Otherwise, I would need to collect 5 more rupees throughout the course of the run, which actually sometimes is difficult. Oh, I got caught. How about that?
Yeah,
He's actually pretty consistent if you know what you're doing, but clearly I don't know what I'm doing. Also, we steal because we have to collect 12 photographs for 100%. And photographs were something that were added to the DX version of the game. You can plug in your Game Boy printer and print out one of these 12 photographs. I don't think really anyone had a Game Boy printer growing up. So, yeah, it's just like a random side quest. It doesn't really give you anything special other than you can look at these cute pictures in the game. So when you steal, you get a secret photo added to your counter. So we need to do that for 100%. And we're going to be making our way to Dungeon 1, trying not to walk into enemies multiple times. Okay. We can read off some donations if we have any.
And we sure do. We have a $50 donation from Dreshard. Woo woo! Glad it's time for Zelda. Love you guys. Keep up the good work for charity, and may RNGesus always watch over you.
I need it.
We also have a $100 donation from Megalito. This is my first game I ever played and one of my favorite games of all time. So glad to see it ran at SGDQ and pick the red tunic. Gotta go fast.
Yes, red tunic is the only tunic. If you donate for blue tunic, you're wrong. I'm telling you that right now.
Team Blue Tunic. Team Blue Tunic for life.
Get out of here, Cranston.
Yeah, we have
you're
some-
done. You're done.
Some conflict on the couch here.
We'll talk a little bit more about it later, but red tunic versus blue tunic. The blue tunic is a defensive tunic. The red tunic is an offensive tunic. And red tunic saves maybe 5 seconds over blue, so it's really not a big deal. But I'm pretty vocal about red tunic, only tunic.
Unless you're me, and then it loses about 30.
So that's the Rock's Feather. The Rock's Feather allows us to jump. So people are excited about Breath of Wild being able to jump, but we've been able to jump in LADX for 10, 15 years now. So get wrecked, Breath of Wild. We need to kill that Moldorm right now because he spawns a chest. If we knock him into a hole, that chest, the Moldorm respawns if we leave the room. So that chest has 50 rupees, 20 rupees. It has some amount of rupees, I forget. And we need to collect a total of 310 rupees throughout the course of this run to buy Song 3 on the Ocarina. And getting all 3 songs is required for 100%. And there's something called super jumping that we forgot to explain again, but it looks like that. So there you go. Does anyone want to take a stab at explaining that?
Sure. Super jumping is a pretty broken glitch in the game where when you do what we had mentioned was a wall clip by kind of facing away from it via using an arrow or a sword, it kind of tricks the game's idea of where you're positioned and thinks you're on the ledge so you can actually hop over it. And that lets us vault over a lot of obstacles.
Yeah. And since I took so much damage, I have to take the Wimp Fairy. Sorry, everyone. This is Moldorm. So our goal is to jump over his head and hit his tail.
Nice. That was a really good moment.
If you fall into the pits, you have to fight him again. It costs about 10, 15 seconds. So that is Dungeon 1. Any more donations right now?
Yeah, I actually have one from a $50 donation from Holly Davis. My fiance Cransoon is couch commentating on the LADX run, and I just had to donate to show my support for him and all the other commentators and runners. I'm always in awe of their skill and knowledge.
Shoutouts to Holly. Thank you. So we're gonna make our way to Dungeon 2, but there's a few things we need to do before we go to Dungeon 2. We have to get Bow Wow. We have to get a heart piece. We have to start the photo side crest. I think I said that in backwards order too. So there's one main category for Link's Awakening DX, and a lot of minor offset categories. So no save and quit's the main category of the game, which basically just go through the game. You can use some big glitches, but not overly big glitches. So I call that category most major glitches. That category is just basically you go through the dungeons and that's about it. 100% is overworld the category. You have to do so many things in the overworld. So if you like the overworld, this category is for you. Also, it's a lot easier than the other categories. It's a lot more laid back. You have health. You have a defensive or offensive tunic. So it's a lot less stressful than the no save and quit category. So we're gonna do another super jump right here to grab this heart piece. Yeah, please, there. Easy every
super
time.
jumps can be a little finicky because some of the wall clips are kind of awkward.
Yeah, and it's really important that I get that wall clip without leaving the cave, because when I save and quit, I would be put back to that entrance of the cave, which would cost another, 10 seconds or so. So before we do anything else, we have to get the photo side quest. I'm going to skip that for right now, just because I don't like to get it. We'll get it later, in 10, 15 minutes. We call that heart piece the heart piece of shame.
I've gotten a lot of shame from that heart piece.
And the reason it's called heart piece of shame is in most categories you have to skip it, and if you pick it up, it wastes about 3 seconds. So this is the start of the photo side quest. You have to do it right now. You have to start it right now because there are a few photographs in this game that are missable. So if you ever try to get 100% as a casually, it's often very difficult because you don't know where these triggers for photos are. And if I have Bow Wow, I'm gonna get Bow Wow right now. If I have Bow Wow, I can't start the photo side quest until I return him. Oops. So I messed up that room a little bit, but no big deal. So this is the King Moblin, not the King Moldorm. He's pretty easy to 2-cycle. We're going to let him dash into the wall and then slash him a few times. Hopefully we 2-cycle him. Each extra cycle costs about 8 seconds. So we did not get a 3-cycle or the dreaded 4-cycle. Shoutouts to Geese. Now we got Bow Wow. Bow Wow's kind of a jerk because he gets in the way and he's RNG with things that he does. He has to eat a flower coming up, and it's RNG. We also have a trick called Flock Skip coming up. We're going to try to explain that. Someone explain that?
Yeah. What he just did there, where he passed between the rock tile and the tree tile, when you open a text box, there's sort of this one-frame window where Link can continue to move. And in that frame, even though you're colliding with the tile, you can kind of push yourself 1 pixel farther, which lets you kind of squeeze past through it.
We can read a few donations if we have time.
Yeah, sure, definitely. We have one from Sergeant Slats for $20. Ain't no tunic like the red tunic because the red tunic goes fast. Love this game and love seeing it played fast. Save the animals.
All right, now I don't know if we have a cutoff time for red tunic, blue tunic bid war, but I think when I enter a color dungeon, I think that's when would be a good time to stop it. Is that okay?
Works for me.
All right. So we stole the bow early on. One of the reasons we stole the bow early on is because the game doesn't really expect us to have the bow yet because it costs 980 rupees. It's a great deal. So the bow actually kills mini bosses in two hits. So just like that, we killed that guy. We killed a mini boss earlier with the same tactic.
Yeah, very challenging.
There's a lot of hard bosses in this run, so stay tuned. Actually, the arrow route in the beginning of the part of this run is very precise. So I start out the game with 18 or 20 arrows. I don't know where I said 18. Also, hashtag powder the bat. Saves a few frames instead of slashing my sword.
Gotta save those frames.
Also, the GameCube D-pad. I'm going to complain at length about the GameCube D-pad for menuing. But anyways, arrows. You only have 20 arrows in the beginning, and if I waste one, I'm wasting time. We get an arrow upgrade later that I can start wasting arrows after that. But for the first, 30 minutes of the run, 40 minutes of the run, arrows are very vital. And the gimmick with this room is I need to kill enemies in order. So that was the bunny, the bat, and the skeleton. If I do them out of order, I have to reset the room, and it wastes time. Okay.
So coming up is the boss to Dungeon 2. He's pretty interesting as far as the method of killing him. There's a couple quick kills that you have to perform in succession.
Yes.
Nice.
That jump is really annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cranston, you want to take quick kills on this boss?
Yeah, so earlier we talked about wall clipping, and wall clipping pretty much breaks this boss. The casual intended way to do this boss is that after he throws all these 8 flames at you, you hit his bottle, pick it up, throw it at the wall 3 times. But by wall clipping in, he's going to instantly break the bottle. He drops a bomb. The bomb explosion is going to recoil him over into the left wall. He's going to use a bomb arrow, and now the boss is dead.
If you blinked, you missed it.
Yeah, it's that fast.
And that's level 2. So we got 2 of 8 instruments. So we're actually doing okay right now. This next segment, there's a photo, a huge side quest skip, and heart piece that I'm thinking of. I know what I'm doing as I do it. I can't think of the route ahead of the time.
Improvising.
Improvised hundo. And we're actually going to wall clip to exit this dungeon. We can walk in between the enemy sprite and the wall, so we don't need to wait for Bow Wow like we had to earlier. So I debated for a while to pretend like I forgot where I was going and just play it off like, oh, I just forgot. I'm gonna save and quick go back to the dungeon. But really, what's going on here? I need to go to this area first that has a warp tile. Warp tiles are just areas on the map that you can warp to using the warp tiles. You activate a warp tile while being on the same screen as it. So I just activated that warp tile, and we'll use it in 15 minutes or so. We'll come back to that area, and it saves maybe 10 seconds to do it right now. So now is where we get the heart piece of shame. In the old route, I used to wait till like minute 50 to grab that, but unfortunately we don't really make our way back here anymore.
So also one thing that you might have noticed earlier on with the trendy game is there's the Yoshi doll that starts the trading sequence for this game. And the trading sequence for this game is really lengthy. It's like there was the honeycomb, that's a part of the trading side quest. It's like 20-something steps. And the reason he didn't pick it up is because Link's Awakening is very broken. And we only do about, I think, 4 steps of the side quest throughout.
Give or take.
Yeah, something like that. Just with the trick we're about to do, we're about to skip the first, I think, 5 steps of it or so. It's
Something
incredibly
like that.
broken. It's incredibly broken, but it's one of the reasons we love this game.
And this is the photograph with Richard. We have a pet name for it in LADX, but we'll just call it the Richard picture for now. What's funny about that picture is that Richard he doesn't know who we are, and he just wants to take a picture with us and say what's up. So no big deal. We have something called Villa Skip coming up soon. I'm going to do it first, then we'll try to explain it. Okay. So I have to keep on pause buffering. Oh, 2 buffers. That's really
Nice.
good.
That's
very
That's
good.
really
Yeah,
good.
that's almost as optimal as you could possibly do it.
Siki, can you take that?
Yeah, so essentially what he did was he was utilizing kind of an exploit of the pit where if you unpause on the right frame, it still thinks you're on solid ground. So what he can do from there is transition down into this little garden, whereas otherwise he would have to go through a lengthy side quest to kind of enter there from the correct way. And then using a similar property, he can actually escape it as well.
So basically, if you pause on the same frame, did I get that? I did get it first frame. Whoops. If I pause at the same frame I land on water or a pit, the game thinks I'm on solid ground. So I'm using that to screen transition here. Oh, that's frame perfect.
Nice.
Nice.
I actually got 2 frame, 1 frame, and 1 frame. That's actually really good. I think my average there is like 7 total buffers.
Yeah, this split is definitely one that can kill a lot of runs for people because Villa Skip is one of those things that we don't fully understand how to make it work 100% of the time. So I've had upwards of 15 to 20 buffers before, which at 2 seconds per buffer, that's a big time waste. So
We also have another minor super jump coming up here. Saves a couple seconds. Looks like this. I think it looks pretty cool if you do it really fast. So Dungeon 3 is actually pretty broken too in this game due to the flock skipping we talked about earlier. So we're going to be just bypassing a key block. And there's a lot of extra stuff in Dungeon 3 that we'll never see. Good shout outs to the acorn.
Now we're really safe.
Yeah. So actually picking up that acorn wastes 2 seconds. I could skip the acorn text with a pause buffer and save like maybe half a second. But if you pause buffer an acorn, you run the chance of locking your game. So I'm just not going to even chance that. I've had that happen to me in races before. Oh yeah, if you kill one of those guys and you leave the room, they both die. How about that? So we're coming up to a valuable item called the Pegasus Boots. So the Pegasus Boots, you've seen this all the time in Zelda. They allow you to run fast. They allow you to basically run at double speed. But the special part about the Pegasus Boots in LADX is that you can actually, whoops, I'm supposed to save there. That's okay. So you can walk a little bit before you actually start dashing. So you're gonna see me like buffer a dash, then dash around a corner, or just miss my dash completely there. So we'll see that a lot in the run to optimize movement.
Yeah, a lot of overworld movement is, it really is just a matter of optimizing your use of the Pegasus Boots because it takes a little while to get really comfortable with the mechanics of it, but once you do, you can really start to optimize a lot of your more drawn-out movement stuff.
Yeah, there's just a lot of dashing around corners like that right there. This bonk is intentional, by the way. It sets up this trick right here, so I can just bypass that key block. You can actually jump under this swamp, and it saves a quarter of a second, but I'm very bad at it with my control stick, so I'm just going to not do that at all.
And as you'll notice, there's a lot of homages to other Nintendo franchises throughout this game. So the modern route actually incorporates every single cameo from other titles.
There's a reason for that. I'll explain it shortly after I do this boss. This boss is kind of RNG, and he kind of trolls me. So I really wanted to hit them both at the same time, but they weren't coming together. And that's it for Vidi. So as Siki was saying, there are a lot of homages to other franchises, mostly Mario. There's a Kirby in the game at some point. That's because LADX was kind of like this after-work project at Nintendo. Like some guy was just he wanted to make a Link to the Past on his own time for Game Boy. And then someone else, so he put a lot of stuff in there that were just fun for him. He put Mario, like Terran looks like Mario, Marin kind of looks like Peach. You see Goombas, you see Cheep Cheeps, you see a Kirby. So he was just doing that for fun. And then someone else at Nintendo saw this game being made, and he said, hey, we should make this into a real Zelda. And then that's how LADX was born. And they decided to keep all that stuff in there. Also, spoilers, this is a dream, so you can say Zelda or Link is dreaming of other franchises. That's Link, right? Not Zelda.
Yeah, he's a big fan of Mario, so.
Also, we have one of my least favorite rooms of the run coming up.
But it also looks the coolest if you get it fast.
I never get it fast, though. Oh, I got it
Nice.
fast.
Okay.
I hate that trick so much because it saves, like, I don't know, maybe a second if you get all those dashes optimally. Ah. This GameCube D-pad, man. It's ruining my menuing.
Zorlax, he kind of bemoans his own ability at menuing, but he's pretty much known in the community to be one of the best menuers in this game.
Ah, no moonwalk there either. So, Cranston was saying earlier that we haven't done any of the trading sequence. So normally you have to get the stick in order to get to this point in the game, but we actually skipped the part that we needed the stick for. So the game said, oh, you beat Dungeon 3, you should probably have the stick, so I'm just going to give it to you for free on the house. That allows us to do this here and this part of the trading sequence. We just need to do this, like a few parts of the trading sequence so we can trigger a flag with Marin, because we need to get Marin at some point in the run to get a few photographs with her. Oops, got sniped. So we're gonna go to the seashell house. If you go to the seashell house with either 5 or 10 seashells, the seashell house gives you another. So we're gonna come here with 5 and that's it, and then we'll get the 6th one like that. And then we're out there. So that was not cooperating with me. I like for him to eat certain enemies, but he's not eating the ones I want him to eat.
In the main category, which is called No Save and Quit, you never end up returning Bow Wow, so...
I ate that guy.
And you also really want to be careful. There's kind of like a kill route because of a certain item drop, so he can be really, really detrimental to you throughout the game. But luckily in this category, we do return him pretty soon, so he's not as big of a headache.
Yeah. Hey, that cucumber worked with me. Sometimes that cucumber walks in the way, and he slows you down. So this is the last part of the trading side quest we'll do for now. Just because after we get this pineapple, the game says, or the bear tells us, hey, Marin's on the beach. You should probably get her to wake up the walrus. Then he also calls the walrus fat. So there you go.
I mean, he's not wrong, so.
but the bear ain't exactly skinny either. So coming up, we have the Dream Shrine. In the Dream Shrine, we get the ocarina. Before, the Dream Shrine used to be really complex. There used to be a series of very difficult jumps, and you could easily die in the Dream Shrine. However, we just super jump over all of it, so it becomes very lackluster. And everyone loves to point out this is like dreamception, because this is a dream within a dream, and yeah. That's all I gotta say. I'm a big party pooper.
So that jump right there was what essentially skipped. You would otherwise have to go around the perimeter of the entire area and dodge those little funny-looking orange dudes.
So I've been running this game for about 3 years, and when I was trying to decide what category to run, I wasn't sure. But then I realized in 100%, you get to do fishing. So I'm so excited that I get to do this fishing minigame with you guys. This is the most important part of the run.
Best Zelda fishing.
Yeah.
So just mash, then you get the baby fish. Got the baby fish. Then we have to get the big fish on the bottom right. Gonna mash some more. He was not cooperating for a second. Yo, the fishing.
Also, you definitely want to remember to say no there, or else he takes some of your rupees and you have to play the minigame
Yeah.
again, which can waste some time.
I do not need to live a little.
Yeah.
So we have a photo coming up. If there's any more donations, we can read those off right now.
Definitely. We have a $25 anonymous donation that says, "Hey guys, GDQ is the best time of the year. Love seeing Link's Awakening being run, my favorite Zelda game. We'll donate again if this is read. Greetings from Germany."
Okay. We have another photo. We can get another one out.
Okay. We have another anonymous donation for $50. It says, "Love the cause and love the games. Watching this is poetry in motion. Thanks, guys."
Then we're gonna enter this library right here. This will set our save point for later, because we're gonna be saving and quitting, going to that place a lot. So now we're gonna get Marin, but also we have another important trick coming up. I won't spoil it until it happens, but it's a big deal. Oh, I got moved in the way. Yeah, I dodged him, and you guys didn't say anything. You guys are supposed to be proud of me in my dodges.
Yo.
Yo,
Nice
the dodge. Wait, I missed the nut grab. You can grab the little nut thing on the left side of the screen. It's very important, but I guess this run's a farce. It's not really 100% anymore. It's like 99.5.
Well, Zorlax, you are the 99% world record holder.
I am the 99% world record holder. 99% is when you forget one thing in 100% and realize later. So I forgot the level 2 shield, which costs maybe 2 seconds to grab. So there's a whole cutscene here with Marin and Link. I used to run this game in US version, in English, but I never read that cutscene, so I don't know what actually happens there. And I've been running this game for 3 years now, so.
Same.
There's actually a few cutscenes coming up that I don't know what they're saying. I just roll with it.
I just know something about seagulls comes up at some point or another.
That's
know-
essentially
that's
the
about
whole.
it.
Yeah.
So also one thing I don't think we've talked about yet is the way, like the mechanics of feather movement in the game. Because one of the big differences between this game and A Link to the Past is the focus on diagonal movement within this game. In A Link to the Past, everything is really linear. Everything moves in a straight line. And not only can you like move around with the boots while charging up a dash, but also the feather can help kind of make your diagonal movement more efficient. So when you're moving diagonally normally, I think you move at something like 12 subpixels per frame.
Yeah.
And when you're jumping with the feather, moving diagonally, you're moving at 16 subpixels per frame, which is the same as your normal horizontal or vertical walking speed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually faster to jump diagonally than it is to walk diagonally, which is why you'll see us jumping around like idiots sometimes.
And for those curious, you heard that right. We actually measure a lot of things in this game by subpixels.
Shoutouts to subpixels. This wouldn't be LADX if we didn't talk about subpixels.
They're
We also-
incredibly mysterious.
We also blame a lot of things on subpixels. I don't understand why that didn't work. It's probably subpixels.
It is subpixels. It's always subpixels or subframes.
Yeah, subframes.
Sub RNG.
Also, you notice how Terran is now human for some reason,
Oh, yeah.
even though he's a raccoon if you go back into the forest, which is fun.
So he can just get out. I think it's just something he can do on his own. And he just wanted a powder from us for some reason. Who knows?
I think he just wanted to hang out.
Let's see. I have to warp twice. I always forget how many times I need to warp in this category.
And you notice the reason he had to warp again was as a byproduct of visiting that screen earlier, he was capable of warping there.
So in the other categories in this game, we can actually skip getting Marin and we can activate this cutscene with a weird glitch. But we have Marin, so we'll have her sing to the walrus. We need her to sing so we can get rid of her because we don't like her. Also, she gives us song 1, which is required for 100%.
Yeah, you'll actually be seeing that same glitch we used to skip Marin coming up pretty soon here. It's got a lot of variability. It's called bomb triggering, and you can use it to do everything from completely skipping the ocarina in any percent to just picking up heart pieces more quickly in 100%. So it's got a pretty wide range of applications.
So we got another tricky boss coming up, Lan Mola. Yeah, make sure I get my menu right. Got him. Again, the bosses in this game are really hard. So Lan Mola, if you're familiar with him from A Link to the Past, he's really difficult. But in this game, if you just shoot 2 arrows in a very specific part of the screen, like his hitbox is still there, but he hasn't formed yet, so you can just kill him with 2 arrows and call it a day.
Yeah, the game developers definitely didn't expect you to be on 2 tiles at once. Wall clipping is one of the simplest but most broken mechanics in the speedrun, I think.
It's the most fun mechanics. Like, right when I first learned that, like, how to speedrun this game, like, only when I knew Dungeon 1, all I did was wall clip every day.
Yeah, and a lot of runners, the more time you spend with this game, you notice in real life, you'll subconsciously try to wall clip, and you'll kind of bump shoulders
against the walls, yep.
I've actually done that, too.
I have too.
Oh, yeah, too. Yeah. You're not alone.
You wall clip by, like, walking into the corner of an object. So sometimes we walk into corners of walls in real life. So we're going to do something called bomb trigger, bomb glitch, whatever you want to call it. Can someone kind of explain what's happening, what we're doing here?
To be perfectly honest, I don't think anyone can really explain what's going on with bomb triggers.
Can you fake it?
Yeah, I'm really good at that. Okay, so essentially what you do is when you lay a bomb while transitioning on a screen, something about the way a bomb works and like the game kind of thinks about a bomb existing, it causes certain events, as Cranston mentioned, like cutscenes, picking up items, things like that, to just kind of occur without some prerequisite things.
Yeah. So the cutscene on that screen was picking up the heart piece. There used to be like a nice like weird diagonal dash jump that you can do. Turns out that using that bomb glitch saves 1 second, so I had to put it in the route. And this is song 1, so it's about a minute of cutscene. So if we have any more donations, that would be perfect.
Yes, definitely. We have a. I just had one that I really wanted to read off and I lost it. So. Oh, there it is. Okay. We have actually an anonymous $1,024 donation.
Wow. Woo.
And that one reads, Link's Awakening is a childhood favorite of mine. May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.
We could probably fit one more in.
We have a $250 donation from Halsey, donating this year in memory of my late grandmother who passed away earlier this year. Thank you, Dalsey.
Oh, nice bonk. Nice double bonk.
Nice double bonk, yeah.
Movement in this game is very difficult. Being a Game Boy game, there's only so many pixels on the screen. What am I doing? This is the wrong category. This is literally the reason why we activated this warp earlier, is so we can go to this screen now. So everyone type failfish in chat for me. I deserve it. Just
that,
especially with that fish right on screen right now.
But at least I unlocked Dungeon 4, right?
Yeah.
That would have been awkward. There's nothing worse than that. It's happened to almost everyone at some point or another. Just you walk up the mountain, climb up the mountain. Okay, time to enter Dungeon 4. Oh, I didn't unlock it.
Yeah, and you just fall into the water.
Yep.
So we have another one of those series of important tricks coming up called obstacle skip. So I'm gonna try to do it, and we'll see what happens. We have 3 times. We can do it 3 times in a row.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yo! Obstacle skip! We jumped over the obstacle, everyone. Jumping over the obstacle saves a quarter of a second every time you do it. So.
And falling into a pit loses you 2 seconds, and we do it 3 times in the run.
We like to call it moderate risk, low reward.
That's LADX for you. There are hard tricks in the run, but we celebrate the easy tricks and the dumb tricks.
As Zorlax likes to say, easy game, easy life.
Easy life, easy life. So this is Dungeon 4. We're going to do it all right now. That might sound weird, but in the other category, we skip half of it. So that jump I just did right now just basically skips half the dungeon, and we're going to skip even more of it. We're going to skip the mini-boss. Oh, with a frame-perfect water jump.
Ooh, nice.
You've been totally on it with those water jumps.
Yeah.
I'm just that good, guys.
Yeah, you're the best.
I mean, it's true.
You're third best, right, Siki?
So they say, yeah.
Yeah, so that water jump allowed us to skip the mini boss, which saves, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds or so.
Also, the pattern you just saw him do on these 5 blocks, we used to have to memorize them, but with the advent of super jumping, we skipped this room entirely and just jumped directly up to the boss key.
Using a really, really
this
cool super jump here.
Yeah, really
super
neat
jump
one.
is really cool, actually. Just up the cliff like that.
Yeah, clinking off the P-hat in super jumps is one of the cooler ways, some of the cooler tricks in the game. It happens twice. Again, in D7, we're going to do another one.
Okay, we actually have another one of those tricky bosses coming up. Got him.
Nice.
Hey!
You did it.
Got him.
How does he do it?
How does he know? That's the end of that. So that's dungeon 4 right there. There we go. So that's 4 dungeons. We're gonna do dungeons. We did dungeons 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna do 5 next. Then after that, we're gonna go in backwards order. Do 8, 7, 6. Because item from 8 makes 7 faster, and 6 at the end optimizes some overworld movement. But before that, we have to get Mambo's song, which is actually the best song in the game. Don't listen to what anyone says. Song 3 is not the best song. Mambo's song is the best song. And maybe I'll get the upside down frame. Yeah, and we're upside down in there. Nice.
There's actually... There's another trick you can do here. If you have the sword equipped and you swing the sword as soon as you select yes, we call it the sword dance. And for some reason, his sprite can move back and forth. And
1 pixel at a time.
yeah.
In No Save and Quit, it actually saves time because you can finagle your way closer to the entrance
Oh.
and exit that way, since it's in No Save and Quit, you can't save and quit like we're doing now.
Oh, really?
I know, it's a little known fact.
Sorry, buddy.
Little known
I
fact.
couldn't resist. I couldn't resist.
Just so we're
I
all
set
clear.
myself up for it. It's fine.
Don't worry. When I fail a rooster skip, you can make fun of me. Or when I read a sign twice in the signpost maze. So we have the Ghost Buddy coming up. Also, Nutty Professor came out in 1994.
Yeah. Shout out to
Shout
Chodo.
Chodo.
Just gonna put that out there. Though it didn't.
Little inside joke.
So this ghost side quest is actually really annoying for most people. I actually like the ghost. Everyone seems to hate his sound he makes, but I think it's kind of cool. So we have to take the ghost to his house and take him to his grave, and only after we do that we can enter dungeon 5. The reason we do this ghost side quest, because we can skip it entirely, is because the ghost has a picture associated with him, and again 100% all the pictures. So we have to do this whole ghost shenanigans, and he also talks really slow. So he also flickers at 30 frames per second. So people like to make fun of me because my stream is at 30 frames per second. So he kind of like just disappears and reappears randomly. But if you're watching at 60 frames, he just like flickers and he looks transparent.
Yeah, there's a couple segments of the game where you'll see things with like a quasi-transparent effect, like the ending credits. And it's pretty common for people who are streaming 30 FPS when they actually finish a run. The credits look like gibberish because they're like alternating. So that's another funny little 30 FPS thing.
Yeah, again, this game does... Oh, he talked to me. The ghost randomly talks to you in the screen. Oops. Also, a weird thing, when you're underwater and the ghost talks to you, your timer for your underwater breaths like still goes on. So right after you clear that text, you're gonna undive, you're gonna rise up above the water. So I try to account for that, but I accidentally pressed B twice. So we're gonna get the first of 3 capacity upgrades in the run. We're gonna try to get bomb upgrade. Oops. So it looks like this. So you have to sprinkle the powder on the altar, and then this guy shows up and he says he's gonna curse you. He's gonna give you the curse of having to carry more stuff. So
Curses.
I need to push no here. I'm just gonna take that super slow. Because if you push no, you get the option of the powder, the bombs, or the bow or the arrow upgrade. So the first one is the powder upgrade. That's actually really useless in this run. We only use powder maybe a handful of times. some of the times is just to activate this.
Yeah, for the
this-
most part.
Yeah.
So yeah, like if you just blindly mash through that and accidentally hit the powder, that is a legitimate run over, and I've actually lost runs on PB Pace because of that. So you never want to like not pay attention.
Oh, really?
Paying attention is pretty important for this category.
Fun part about this is you can kind of be offset from his beam. So when he shoots me, it'll look weird. Like it won't be centered on Link. So, no. just take my time with that.
Although, shout outs to Game Boy player.
I couldn't resist. That's the only time I'll do that. I promise.
He says that, but
Yeah, I do say that.
Also, oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Something interesting to note about the current state of 100% is after bomb triggers were found, there was kind of like just sort of a free-for-all as far as trying to route out the new 100%. And so there are multiple different, like very significantly different 100% routes that are currently being used. Like the one I use got that second capacity upgrade as my first one after Dungeon 2. So, like, it's completely different. The seashell that he got with Marin, I get also on the way from Dungeon 2. I bomb trigger the one heart piece in the log cave. Like, it's very, very different. But then at the very end of the run, the difference in, like, optimal time is maybe 5 or 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I really like about the way 100% is right now, is you can do a lot of things in kind of whatever order you feel comfortable with, and it'll still be about the same length. So there's really a lot of kind of room for individuality within the routing of this category, and I really like it.
I've heard the Zorlax route's the best route. It's just what I've heard, though.
that is a really good point, though.
Yeah, it is a good point. Zorlax route is the best route.
But regarding optimization and routing, especially in the past year or so, because of a lot of cool discoveries, like the bomb glitch is a rather contemporary find in the history of like the game. So there's been a lot of active routing as of late, and even 100% this year had a lot of reworking.
So we are in the color dungeon. What tunic will I be getting at the end of this dungeon? Fingers crossed.
Right.
There is only one tunic that's available.
The true tunic.
There's the one true tunic.
It looks like the red tunic won out by about $900 actually.
Yes.
Now this is a speed run.
Yes. Now I can't blame anything on blue tunic. I did a couple of runs with blue tunic and they all went badly because I had blue tunic, even though nothing really changes.
When in doubt, blame blue tunic.
It's either blame the tunic or blame subpixels.
Also, I like how your definition of going badly is still getting ahead of the second place time by like a minute.
Terrible. If you mash on this boss, sometimes you can kill him, stun lock him. Got him.
Got him.
Also, I guess, should we try explaining the differences in the tunics now?
Yeah, go ahead.
While we have some time. So, within this game, you saw Zorlax picked up a Guardian Acorn earlier in the run on accident. There are two power-ups based on like the number of enemies you kill or the amount of damage you take, and that's Guardian Acorn and Piece of Power. Piece of Power is used extensively in the any percent no save and quit route. But resetting, it's based on the number of enemies you kill, but saving and quitting resets that counter, so we don't use it in this run. But the Guardian Acorn just reduces your damage taken by half, while Piece of Power doubles your damage, has a knockback effect against enemies, allows you to pick up items like rocks and things like that faster.
This way.
What? And also gives you a 25% movement speed bonus. Red Tunic only takes the double damage, the knockback, and the picking things up faster, while Blue Tunic is Blue Tunic. It just cuts damage in half.
That's exactly right, Cransy. Blue Tunic, it's Blue Tunic.
Yeah.
It does one thing, and it does that one thing well. The thing about Red Tunic is the knockback effect is actually extremely detrimental because most bosses in this game don't take double damage from Tunic or from your sword. So the
Good
Dungeon
RNG.
5 boss
Got him.
is actually much more difficult. The timing is a lot harder on it, and you still have to do the same number of hits. So like that's why for me, I would say it's 30-second time loss for me because the timing on that boss is much, much tighter. But in the end, the difference between the two tunics comes down to about 10 seconds total if both runs are played optimally.
Red tunic, only tunic. That's all I'm going to say.
Also, a little thing about player preferences of tunics. There was a discovery made recently, and by recently I mean last week. You know that little part I said about how Red Tunic picks up rocks faster? We didn't know that until last week when Zorlax
So
did a run
fast.
with Blue Tunic. Because he said, wait, Red Tunic picks it up faster because Blue Tunic is like, feels sluggish comparatively. And then I tested it and I was like, oh, you're right. Yeah, no, that's definitely a thing. But it took 3 years of running this category to actually have anyone discover that.
I remember.
So
because-
let me summarize everything Cransoon just said right now. Red tunic is faster than the blue tunic because the blue tunic is slower than the red tunic.
Oh, look at this Moblin.
Oh yeah.
He just changes sprites randomly.
So this is like one of the most high-intensity heart pieces to collect. It's just nonstop, excitement.
Heart-pounding action.
Yeah. It makes me wonder, like, how did anyone find this heart piece, like, in a regular playthrough? Because everyone that we've talked to here, we all agree, like, we never did, like, before we, started speedrunning.
It's just incentive to buy the guide.
Yeah.
Back when players' guides were a thing.
Now you just look it up on the internet.
Exactly. So coming up here is the reason why we don't
RNG, please.
we don't do any of the trading side quests besides like a couple of spots. And as you might imagine, it has to do with bomb triggers and the fact that they're broken and the fact that they work by dropping bombs in pits and 2D side-scrolling sections. The walls count as pits sometimes because reasons.
Because of reasons.
So I just laid 2 bombs, and that starts this cutscene.
And he laid those 2 bombs, I think it's within 3 frames of each other.
4 frames.
Oh, 4 frames.
4.
So we got the pretty bow. It's a bow in the Japanese version. In the U.S. version, it's a necklace. What else was it? Yes. What did we say it might be?
An eye mask,
Oh,
yeah,
like
it could
a
be-
sleeping eye mask.
Yeah, it could be one of those too. The mermaid is definitely not semi-nude underwater there.
Zorlax turns his sprite away so that it's family friendly.
Yeah.
And the way she jumps off screen is random every time. Doesn't save or lose any time, but it's like every playthrough is different. It's so magical.
Yeah. Such variety. And this is Dungeon 5 coming up.
Oh wow, cat mash.
Yeah, mashing is actually really important in swimming sections because even though it seems like that was kind of random mashing, mashing up against the ceiling like that actually does speed up your sideways movement.
So that's one of the reasons why Red Tunic is slightly faster because it made that room clear a little bit easier. It's mostly the time save is in Dungeon 5 with where Red Tunic saves time, just in a few room clears.
The Helmisars that you see, the things with the masks, are kind of really infamous in this dungeon because you have to hit them while facing the same direction as them, and they take 2 hits. So sometimes they'll just really kind of dodge you, and it can take a lot of time.
Yo, the Cransoon damage boost.
Oh yeah.
Is that a double damage boost?
Yeah, you got the Helmisar boost too.
I'm not really paying attention.
As
So-
you do in marathon runs.
That's one of the reasons I like Red Tunics. I like that room clear so much. You just swing your sword 3 times and you get them all. So we have this mini boss here. Can someone explain that? Like what's going on with it?
You're gonna fight this mini boss, or Zorlax will in this case, 4 times.
Or you will.
Yeah, we all can.
So
There you go.
you're gonna
random donation incentive, co-op run.
So essentially, you're kind of chasing him around this dungeon because he's kind of taunting you the whole time. And finally, your intention is to defeat him and procure the item of this dungeon, which is the hook shot.
Yeah, so you fight him 4 times. The first and last time you fight him, he takes 3 bombs to kill, and the second and third time, he takes 2 bombs to kill. So we have different setups for the different amount of damages we need to do to him. So we saw the first time I shot 2 bomb arrows and laid a bomb. The second time I threw a bomb, a well-timed bomb, knocked him into it, and I laid another bomb shortly after. So that's what we're going to do here. This is the 3rd time we fight him. He has the hook shot, so we got to get the hook shot.
And I think Savis is gonna. He has a lot to say about the hook shot.
Yeah, Savis has a lot of opinions on the hook shot.
Also, one thing that's kind of interesting to note is there is technically a way to get hookshot early, but it involves some really interesting use of tricks. Lots and
Yes.
lots and lots of pause buffering, which is not the most interesting, and also a fair bit of RNG involving the boomerang.
First try every time.
Easy
Nice.
every time. So that jump essentially allows him to get the dungeon key before getting the hook shot, and mostly that's just like a routing thing because then he doesn't have to backtrack there. Kind of just gets it on the way.
It's actually not too bad, but I make it look really hard. So
It's actually, that jump is significantly easier with Piece of Power, but since we don't get Piece of Power in this run, that jump is a little bit tighter with normal movement speed.
okay.
And this is the
Whoops.
final Master Stelphos fight.
Oh no, we'll be fine.
Yeah, there you go. And
Pushing 2 buttons within 8 frames of each other is really difficult, it seems.
yeah.
So we got the hook shot now. I have to wait like a second so it appears in my inventory before I save, or else I have to fight him again.
And that's no good.
That's not fun.
So we're gonna get 200 rupees right now because there's a convenient rupee chest right here. Again, we need 300.
Time save.
Time save.
I
was waiting for it.
Can
So-
someone explain what that means?
So, one thing that is a fun little nugget of information that everyone loves pointing out as much as possible is that using the hook shot is technically the fastest form of movement in the game. However, in a lot of cases, it ends up being just kind of impractical because you have to wait for the hook shot to extend, to retract, and a lot of times using boots or feather would have been faster. But it's
Time
still
save.
like
Time save.
a little.
Time save. But yeah, it's kind of one of those like entry kind of things. Like once you know, once you know that little nugget of information, you're truly a Link's Awakening speedrunner. So.
All right, so this boss is RNG. He takes 8 hits to kill no matter what tunic I have. I can only cover one half of the room at a time. So each cycle is like a 50-50 chance for me to hit him. So I missed 1 cycle. Hit him 4 times. So I need to hit him 4 more times. Okay, I can deal
That
with
was
that.
really good.
That's good.
RNG, yeah.
So each cycle wastes about 3 seconds. So I only lost 3 seconds over a perfect fight. So there's actually one of the reasons why people are vouching for the blue tunic now is because you can do a setup with the blue tunic on this fight that actually makes that boss fight 100% consistent. I'm actually just really bad at it on console, so I wouldn't have done it with blue tunic anyways.
And also the spacing on the hits for Red Tunic are significantly farther apart, so
Yeah.
the timing it needs to be much more precise, whereas with the Blue Tunic you can just kind of spam and get 4 or even 5 hits in per cycle.
Yeah, I heard that 4-hit red tunic is TAS only.
Zorlax has debunked a lot of myths within the LADX community since bursting onto the scene.
I've also produced a lot of myths too. So.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get another photo right now with the fisherman. I don't really know what's happening in this cutscene, but you'll see. I think we just kick the guy off the boat or something. I don't know.
Yeah, for some reason, like, Link's sword has something to do with the...
I think he's posing for a photograph and just
Oh.
happens to accidentally knock the fisherman off his boat.
I guess the real question is why is the mouse just like chilling there under a boat where there's a fisherman? That seems like a classic rookie mistake.
Here's a bit of RNG from a cucumber,
Okay.
Nice.
but
okay.
good RNG. He can get in the way of that block sometimes and you have to reload the screen.
Oops.
And this is kind of the end point of the trading quest, your ultimate goal. And he's basically collecting this thing called it's a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Or is it magnifying lens?
Or
It's a thing. It definitely is a thing.
It's
Sure is a
got
thing.
magnifying in it somewhere.
LADX casually, the trading sequence is actually mandatory to complete the run because you need the magnifying glass in order to see the path inside the egg at the very end of the game. The path inside the egg is kind of like your Lost Woods esque kind of thing. Like you have to take
Oh,
a
is it
specific
really?
path in order to do it, to complete it. We'll skip that and we'll explain that a little bit more later.
Man, it's been so long since I've played this game casually, I did not even remember that you needed the magnifying lens to read the book.
you actually need that library for a couple things.
Well, that's only for the book. You can find out about the color dungeon in there too, I guess.
Yeah, like the way to push the gravestones and stuff.
Oh man, we lifting so fast with Red Tunic. So fast, man.
All them frame savers.
So many frames.
Frames for
Frames for
days.
days.
So we got the last of the rupees that we need to get the Song 3. Before we do that, we're going to get the Boomerang, which is required for 100%.
And the reason he equipped the shovel here is because you can't just get the boomerang. You have to trade him whatever item is in your B slot. So because we don't need the shovel.
Yeah. And that guy's actually a Gorilla, which is an enemy in Zelda 1. I think those are the guys that throw boomerangs at you. You don't really see them in too many Zelda games past Zelda 1, but there you go.
More cameos.
A cameo to its own game, to its own franchise.
Yeah. He does make a cameo in the Oracle games.
Does he?
Yeah, you know, like the Moblin-like things
don't
that
know.
shoot boomerangs at you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's Season's mini boss 1.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason for that, but let's not talk about another franchise while we're running LATX or another game in the series. So I remember the tree shell.
Yeah, tree shell is easy to...
Okay,
Nice
that's cool.
damage boost.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
completely intentional. So we have the signpost maze. We have to read these signs in order, and it's actually my least favorite part of the run. I think it's the most boring. So if we have any donations, that would be a great time.
Of course. We have a $100 donation from Thurwolf. I've been watching these for a couple years now, but this is my first time donating. I have to donate during one of my favorite games from my youth. Good luck, runners. We also have a $100 donation from Nemo2342. Link's Awakening was one of my favorite games on the Game Boy, and it's a pleasure watching it done fast. Keep up the good work and save the animals.
We still got plenty more signs to go.
Yeah, we're not quite
We're
there
not
yet.
even done.
It's customary to just have resident sleeper spammed in runners' chats.
We have a $50 donation from Virtuous Sun. Great job, everyone. Gladly, I finally got off my butt to donate in time. Put my donation to Runner's Choice. All the best from Canada.
And that's it for that. So we're going to get song 3. So I think we're just going to stay silent for this song because it's a really good song.
Best song.
Best song.
You can sing along at home if you know the words.
So, fun fact about this, that's actually a reference to Wart, the frog there, or the toad there. Whoops. I just wanted to hear it one more time. Need that song. In the Japanese, or actually in the game, his name is Mamu. And Mario 2, which is where Wart comes from. In the Japanese version of like Doki Doki Panic, Wart is known as Mamu. So it's a clear reference to that. I just learned that yesterday. So, knowledge bomb.
Knowledge.
So coming up here, we have a pretty important glitch. That glitch being the second obstacle skip of the game.
This is crucial.
It's
So.
very,
This
very
is the
important.
most important thing going on right now. That's the only thing I'm thinking about. Yeah, we actually make our way through this cave system a few times. We make our way through here 3 times throughout the course of the run. Yeah, so we have to get the obstacle skip 3 times, or else this run doesn't count. I shouldn't say that.
He will reset his console if he doesn't get it.
No, come on. Okay. we also have to get that heart piece while we're here. Saves 1 second, and then going around. Okay, there we go.
Yo.
There we go. Obstacle skip 2 of 3. We actually do have a real trick coming up called rooster skip. So I'm going to do the most basic, safe baby strats in the world, and everyone can make fun of me for that all they want, and I will take it because I deserve it. So I'm going to save and quit here, just in case I fall. If you fall during rooster skip, you get basically taken to the bottom of the mountain, which wastes about 30 seconds. But taking that safety save, I can just reset my console and end up back there. And then I'm just going to do the trick, and then we'll try to explain it later. Ooh, that's really bad.
Move
need to
forward
move-
a little
yeah.
bit.
Okay, that one's good.
Nice.
Nope. Okay, that's really far, but that's okay. Okay, that's good.
Oh, nice.
I'm not done yet, though. Getting flashbacks. Come on. Come on. There it is. The last live marathon I went to, I did basically the same thing. I got stuck right there, and I fell. And it just tore my soul apart. But I was glad I was able to get my revenge on LADX. Time save. So what happened there? Actually, can someone explain that? Basically, the gist of what rooster skip is.
Yeah, so it's basically a trick called hookshot jumping, where on the frame that the hookshot little claw thing kind of reaches Link and returns to him, you have the one frame chance to do another input, specifically the feather, which lets you jump again. So in an unbuffered method, if you're for when you're looking to optimally do a hookshot jump, what you'd have to do is jump on that one frame and then do that twice because you have to go around that little bend. So it's pretty infamous for being a really, really high precision trick.
Yeah, not too long ago, I want to say like 3 or 4 months ago, I found out there's a 100% consistent way of buffering it, but it's still a little nerve-wracking because you can still fall in the pit at any moment if your mashing isn't perfect or something. So I'm happy I got that first try.
Pit physics in this game are really, really weird.
Yeah, Villa Skip takes advantage of pit physics, so does hookshot jumping. It's just a thing.
Dem pit physics, though.
Dem pit physics.
Not as good as the Manipto.
No, not as good as the
Manipto.
Manipto. Well, we'll let the viewers figure out what the Manipto is.
I don't know if I even know what it is.
They say only one man truly knows what the Manipto is.
Okay, so the astute viewer we recognize that we don't have the mirror shield or the level 2 shield. We need the level 2 shield to actually... Oh, I died.
Hey, guess what? You wouldn't have died with the blue tunic.
Oh, guess what? Second try strats. I was really... I can't remember the last time I've died there. With a nice wall clip, with a wall clip, you can actually bypass that. Luckily, dying there doesn't invalidate the run, and it only lost me, 10 seconds or something. But it can go down as one of the big SGDQ fails. Lol, Zorlax dies at flame skip. Also, this turtle head doesn't have a hitbox, so we're just going to walk right through it. No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So a legendary runner of this game actually died to that recently.
Yeah, it was utterly tragic. We won't mention the name of that runner.
We're going to do a sideways block push here. That actually cuts the dungeon in about half, too. So, just like that. I forget. Siki, where's the next heart piece?
Oh, in Dungeon 8? It's outside of Dungeon 8.
Okay, good. There's just inside jokes between all of us. That's all we do now. So we have a trick coming up called invulnerability glitch. If you hook shot next to an object, like right next to an object, you actually can't take damage for that screen until you jump. So I was able to use that in order to push that enemy into the hole.
And I always found that trick hilarious because it's incredibly simple. It's literally hook shot into something twice, and then you're invincible.
Oh, wow. So this is Blano. He makes a reappearance in Oracle of Seasons. In this game, we kill him. In Oracle of Seasons, you just box him. So I'm going to take the Wimp Fairy just in case, since I did just die. That kind of got to me. Now we got the Fire Rod. I'm going to save and quit.
Excuse me, Zorlax. I think that's called the Magic Rod.
Pretty sure it's the Fire Rod. I mean, it shoots fire. It's the Fire Rod.
Let's hoping for a burlesque
Burlesque.
sequence here.
Burlesque hype.
Nice.
If you touch any of those ice blocks, a text box appears that says, "Brr, this ice is really cold."
And
So-
before super jumps, there's a handful of other rooms that incorporate that too, that are a lot harder.
Ooh.
Nice.
I was cutting those really close for no good reason.
Just Zorlax things.
Coming up here is the room that, like, casually is not that bad, but when you're trying to go fast, it can be really annoying because you can actually move by jumping in a certain direction while you're moving the block, so you have to kind of focus on that, but it's really easy to just whiff and accidentally
Got him.
mess up the puzzle and have to reset the room.
Yeah, so I'm actually controlling the block and Link at the same time. And it saves like maybe 2 seconds to jump to that area where the chest is, but
just looks
two
so
seconds. Yeah. And I do a really strange one. I don't think anyone does my method. There's other easier ways of doing that room, but I have my own weird way. So we're gonna do a lava jump, which is same thing as a water jump. It's a 3 buffer, not as good as the other ones. And then we'll use that lava jump in order to do a super jump. It's hard to explain really what's going on, but doing a lava jump forced us 1 pixel into the wall, and that allowed us to do a super jump.
And this boss is Hothead, and he's really infamous for having a really mysterious health mechanic that a lot of people don't. We can't really fully predict or understand how it works. Sometimes he'll just take a handful of cycles to kill. Sometimes it only takes 1.
Yeah.
It's
So
a very mysterious thing.
basically, you just mash and wait for him to die.
Yeah.
And hope for the best. That's Dungeon 8. Coming up next, we're going to go to Dungeon 7, but between Dungeon 8 and Dungeon 7, there's this long stretch of just running through caves, and I'm not really doing anything interesting. So we have a good long stretch of donations if we can.
And we have plenty of them.
All right.
I will start off first with a donation from Tareen for $1,000. And that one reads, Link's Awakening was the first Zelda game I ever played. It's a lot of fun seeing it again. You guys are awesome. We have a $100 donation from, and I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher this, Giacob.
Giacob.
Shout outs to Giacob.
Yo!
He says, good luck, Zorlax. May all your Aghanim balls be round.
Briefly, I want to give shout outs to Giacob because Giacob was a big superpower in this game. When I got in the scene, I learned a lot from him and his runs, and I really respect the work he put into this game. And he was at AGDQ 2014?
I think it was 14. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it was AGDQ 14.
And he had a really good run. So shout outs to Giacob.
We have a $50 donation from Lipscomb88. Love this game back on my Game Boy Color. Took me months. This blows my mind. You guys nailed it.
I nailed it.
You nailed it. We also have a $25 donation from Shy Ranger. What do you call it when Link makes breakfast? Link's a baconing. That was pretty bad. I'm sorry.
That's like an S-grunt level pun.
We have a $20 donation from Mike Sky saying, Blano skip isn't out of bounds. Kappa. Have fun with the run, guys.
Yeah, there's a super jump that used to go out of bounds that we didn't realize was meeting our definition of out of bounds, so we did it for a while. And I was very vocal against banning it, but I lost.
The coherency of this run, it's hard to tell based on how it looks,
Time save.
but the actual coherency of this run is hanging on by a razor thread. Like it's you could just go a single tile farther out away than we do and completely break the game. The any percent, the true any percent category of this game is 5 minutes. So this game is very broken. We just try very hard to make
Hey.
rules so it's not broken.
So we have to get the level 2 shield. There's a very complex puzzle with it. Looks like that.
Nice. You
We got
it.
the level 2 shield.
First
won't-
try.
Yeah, first try. We won't really be using the level 2 shield for any particular. Like we'll use it the same way we use the level 1 shield. So we have a weird series of bomb glitches coming up. If I lay bombs in a pit within 4 frames of each other, it'll knock down a pillar. Just don't
Just
ask.
accept it.
Speaking of broken, this dungeon is probably the most broken from a casual playthrough.
Yeah, there's a few mottos in LADX. One of them is not whoops, but
Well, that too.
snap.
Basically, yeah.
My menu's messed up now. We're gonna have to roll with it. We're just gonna have to roll with it for the rest of the run.
Demonipto.
Dominipto.
Diminipto.
I think that might fix it though. So I didn't really talk about all how important menuing is in the run,
Yeah.
but there are about 135 menus in this route, and each menu costs about 2 seconds. So if I waste a menu, I'm out 2 seconds, and that can really add up. And then that doesn't even count for the speed inside the menus. So I'm gonna have to really pay attention to what items I'm equipping because I don't have my predetermined menu route set up anymore. But yeah, mottos in LADX. There is just don't ask, Demonipto, war is a pleb, shoutouts to geese, and what are some other infamous phrases in?
Like, don't forget. Or
Oh, don't do the thing.
yeah, don't.
Don't do the thing.
Yeah, the thing was an old soft block that we can't really do anymore. We'll have a neat super jump coming up right here. It's like the one we saw in D4. Oops, I didn't think I had that, so we're gonna try it again. Looks like that.
So that jump can be really terrifying for a lot of runners because this is near the end of the game, and it's easy to accidentally knock yourself over to the other side of those raised blocks, and to get back over because you don't have a key, you have to do like this sketchy wall clip using the hook shot to super jump back over.
Wrong button. All right, and I have a quick kill coming up. I need an audio cue for. Got him. So we're just gonna shoot the fire rod down, and due to screen wrapping, that kills the boss.
So, fun fact about that quick kill is that you can't do what he just did in a no save and quit run. For some reason, the way the off-screen activity
Hold
is.
that thought, Siki. We got a major glitch coming up.
Nice.
Yo,
There you go.
that graphical glitch. Okay, so as you were saying, Siki.
Yeah, so it's essentially, for some reason, there's like this barrier around the kind of off-screen area that doesn't let you hit the hit the eagle when it's not on the screen.
Where am I going? Okay. And we had the heart piece of shame earlier. We have a second heart piece of shame right here. We call that the real heart piece of shame because there was a 100% runner who decided he wanted to pick up no save and quit. And no save and quit, you don't pick up any heart pieces, obviously, because it's slower. So he was so used to getting that heart piece that he got that in no save and quit. And you have to go out of your way to get that one. So shout outs to Damona. Then we're going to get the last of the 12 photos here with the Zora. We actually need the magnifying glass in order to see the Zora, so that's why we did it now. And the mouse appears in this cutscene. For some reason, the mouse is white. Who knows? Don't ask.
I never noticed that.
For a long time, I thought it was an emulator glitch until I saw somebody run 100% on console, and I was like, no, that's definitely not an emulator glitch.
Was that Geocob?
Probably.
Because there's like no other console Hundo runs. Got him.
Nice.
Doesn't do anything.
Looks cool, though.
All right, so we're going to make our way through the Armos Night Maze to get the level 6 key, and then we'll make our way to level 6. Or then we'll get the level 2 sword, then we'll make our way to level 6. Okay, that menu's right. I think my menus might be fixed now. Maybe.
Yeah, one thing that's really difficult about Link's Awakening versus a lot of other Zelda games, in most Zelda games, you see a static menu.
Whoops,
So
whoops.
each item has its slot that it will always be in throughout the entire game.
Like
But-
Ocarina of Time, for example.
yeah.
Everything's in that specific spot.
Yeah, like from one run to another, the hookshot will always be in the same spot as the hookshot has always been. But in Link's Awakening, the menu is completely like variable. It's completely up to you. So the idea of having planned and the idea of menu routing is actually a big part of Link's Awakening runs. It's within any percent, it can make a huge difference between 1 hour and sub 1 hour times.
And it's kind of cool to see how every runner kind of has their own way of doing a lot of menus. So it's kind of like a fingerprint of each runner.
And that mini boss right there, the game intends you to use arrows. We could use arrows if we wanted to. It's maybe about half a second slower than what I just did. If you have red tunic, you can actually just damage him by swinging your sword. If I had blue tunic, I would have to do a really complex quick kill that we call bootstrats. Unfortunately, I don't get to show those off, but
It looks way cooler.
It does look way cooler, but I'd rather go fast and die to flame skip. For some reason, I can't remember my menus right now. Oh man, I lift up rocks so fast, guys. You don't even know how fast I'm lifting up these rocks.
Neither did you until a week ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kransoon.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, the Zorlax jump. we call that the Zorlax jump because I'm known for failing that jump, and it's really easy. No? Okay, that's cool.
Oh, cool.
I'll take it. So now we're going to get the level 2 sword. We won't really use the level 2 sword until the very end of the game, and it doesn't even really save that much time. So we get to sit through this cool cutscene, but we won't use the item until for another 6 or 7 minutes. So that's why we collected 20 seashells. 20 seashells gives us the level 2 sword.
And after this point, the seashells all disappear off of the map. If there was a seashell in a chest, that's turned into rupees. If there was a seashell underneath a rock or a bush, it's just gone. And you'll notice the next time he opens up his menu, there isn't even a spot for the seashells anymore. It's just blank completely. So that's the reason why we only get 20. Many people would consider, oh, you didn't get 26, but at the end of the run, the difference between 20 and 26 seashells is literally nothing, as you can see right there.
And some of the seashells are just really, really out of the way and really annoying to get.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just do part of the side quest.
I mean, hey, that's what we did for the trading side quest. 4/20ths.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
I got him. Okay. I didn't waste any time to missing that clip in the beginning. So in this room, I just hold up and left and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Those big
That's all I
sparks
gotta
can be
do.
really finicky.
All right. So Dungeon 6 is actually one of the dungeons that was most broken due to super jumps. It used to be the longest dungeon in the game, and I used to have a lot of complex things you were doing. There's a mini boss that you had to kill, a few hard rooms that you had to deal with, but now we just super jump to beat it all. Whoops. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, you're wasting all of your precious bomb arrows.
Oh no.
Keep on missing too.
So as you can see, arrow count is not really a factor at this point in the run.
Okay. Okay. I can never remember that menu.
So
Can never
close.
get that. That's okay.
Yeah, this room, when you have the increased damage, kind of makes it harder to get all 4 of the whiz robes in one cycle.
That's okay though. So we're just gonna super jump up here. No big deal. And did you guys know that you can open chests by throwing a pot at them? Just like
Whoa.
that. The joke with that is that most people that come into my chat that have never seen a speedrun before, they always are shocked by that. That's actually a puzzle in the game. You're supposed to throw a pot at that chest. The owl statue tells you that right there.
I was sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I always love how the boots like lines up so perfectly with the music, like the rhythm of the boots.
It's especially cool in like with this dungeon song.
I actually never noticed that. So we have this mini boss. We have to throw his ball at him 4 times. He's kind of RNG, but he kind of worked with me, a little bit. And I'm gonna pick up these spare bombs for no real good reason, other than I kind of want them.
And there's something that I just realized we never really explained, and it's really minimal, but it's kind of a fun fact. You see, when he enters a lot of rooms, he'll jump just right at the get-go.
Oops.
And the reason he does that is because when doors open and close in this game, they actually immobilize Link for about 8 frames. And when you jump, somehow it just retains his velocity, so you save about 8 frames every time you do that.
Yeah, and then we have this mini boss, this actual boss here. He has a hitbox before he shows up, so we can actually damage him 3 times. He takes 5 hits to kill.
And people who are familiar with the Oracle games will recognize him as a mini-boss.
Oops. Should be good enough.
Yeah, that's pretty much how this boss works.
Yeah,
that's good enough. Just drop a bomb here.
I don't have actual cues for it. I just kind of like throw a bomb. And there's look at the explosion. It's rainbow because of the triangle. Also, the triangle is the best instrument in the entire ensemble. It tries so hard.
Just listen to that tone, you know.
You can't. Can you triangle like that?
I could never, you know.
Yeah. PhD in triangle performance. All right, so we have all the instruments. We have all of the upgrades. We have all of the pieces of heart, red tunic, photographs. So we're just going to make our way to the end of the game now.
We should probably start explaining the final boss before we get to the final boss.
Go for it.
Because there is a lot of tech that happens within the final boss. Using bomb triggers, he's going to skip the opening text box, or attempt to skip the opening text box of the boss. It's like a 10-second long text box. But as you drop down the pit to enter the boss fight, if you drop bombs with correct timing, you will completely skip the text box. And then after that, you have a very, like a pixel-perfect setup with some RNG that will skip the blob phase entirely, so you don't need to use the powder.
So that's the first form.
And then you have Aghanim, which you can't really do much about. It's straight RNG.
That's the second form.
The third form, we have a quick kill, which involves setting up your like a spin slash as the boss spawns, and then quickly slashing it to hold it in place and kill him instantly. During the Ganon phase, which is the fourth phase, he's going to be bonking off of a wall onto a particular pixel to get a visual cue set up to play the ocarina on a particular pixel to freeze a particular frame to freeze one of Ganon's bats in place, so that then when Deathel, the final phase, spawns, the game thinks that Deathel is the bat, and the bat has an HP value of 0, and it'll instantly die. So it's a really long, complicated thing that there are a lot of setups for, and Zorlax's is definitely the most involved.
Hey, Siki. Bitwifeg.
Bitwifeg.
We're just going to leave it at that. Okay. So I'm going to try to lay those bombs and skip this text box here. Okay, we got that.
Nice.
Then we're going to stand on a specific pixel. Actually, we got it.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to stand on this pixel and hope that this quick kill works. I don't understand why. And we got good RNG.
Great.
So that kills that first form of the boss. Now we're on Aghanim. He shoots round balls, or what were called blue balls. Each blue ball you cannot reflect, and you cannot damage him when he shoots a blue ball. So that wastes about 8 seconds. Also, since I skipped the text in the beginning of this fight, there's no music. So this fight's kind of lame without music.
That's 2.
That's 2 in a row.
2 in a row.
good.
Good start.
Good so far. All right, we've hit him 4 times, so that's a blue ball right there. That wasted 8 seconds over perfect RNG. There's
Nice.
need one more. Oh, cool. If you hit him right here, it knocks him in a closer location to the next fight. Oh, nice.
Great.
One. That's actually pretty good.
That was
That's good
yeah, above
RNG.
So
average.
we're gonna do a quick kill. I'm just gonna hold out my sword and poke Moldorm a few times, like that. So he's down. So I need to dash into Ganon 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Bonk against this wall and then pray. That's closed bat. So 1 extra pause, 1 map. Play the ocarina and then fingers crossed. I think I got it though. Okay, we froze the bat in place. So it'll make sense in a second. So that bat is going to turn into Deathel at the very end. So that turned into Deathel.
Nice.
He died. That spawns the stairs.
Nice.
And we just climb up the stairs.
And that's it.
Time. Wow. That's
was-
a ridiculous run, dude.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Oh my gosh.
So I just want to give shout outs to the entire LADX community. I cannot name everyone right now with all this adrenaline, but Disclude, Green Tunic, TGH, who has been giving me a run for my money. My couch here, Sicky, Cransoon, I can't do it. JTB, Savis for telling me that about time saves. Who else is in the community that I can't think of right now? Hawkrex, Stanner, Damona,
Crevone.
Chodo.
Crevone,
Leon.
Leon. Thank you guys all for being part of the community. LADX is a great community. If you want to learn more about this game, there's a really good tutorial on speedrun.com/LADX for the main category. 100% Cransoon is going to be working on a tutorial, so you can learn that soon. I think that's all the shout-outs I really wanted to give. I need to give shout-outs to Dresden, who lent me his cart and his Game Boy Player. I really appreciate it. I don't know if there's anything else I need to say.
If you're interested in getting involved with this game, just hit any of us up on Twitter or on Twitch while we're streaming, and we can get you a link into the Discord with the LADX community. Everybody is really, really helpful. Everybody is super welcoming of new players, and no question is like too simple, or there's no dumb question. We'll answer anything you have. So just get in contact with us if you're ever interested in running the game, and we'll be happy to help. So.
Yeah. And I was zorlaxseven. This was Link's Awakening 100%. Thank you, everyone, for having me. Thank you, SGDQ, for taking my run in. And I'm really happy to be here. I appreciate it.
I need to confirm that with him now, because I'm not. Dude, I don't really care that much, because I'm pretty sure he's going to do all the commentary. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he's here yet. He's here tonight. I see the ham plan. The legendary ham remastered. Yeah. The Pusher. 17. Swordsman Kirby. He was sitting by you a couple moments ago. Well, he wandered off. I think he went through it. Oh, that was Master. Yeah. That's over here. Yeah. Just look for the most ripped guy in the world. I'm so tired, but I took like a 2.5 hour nap really quick, so I should be. We get struggle. The longest time I've slept in a long time. Oh. Take a look at the hallway. I've seen on follow you.
We have a $404 donation from Jay Broman that says, great event, great cause, MSF hype. We have a $350 donation from Lithrak that says, great marathon so far, guys. Here's to a great cause and towards naming one of the greatest characters in Final Fantasy VI. Long live Mr. Thou.
Just a quick reminder to everyone that, yes, this entire convention is about speedrunning, but more importantly, it is in support of Doctors Without Borders. They support people who cannot otherwise access healthcare by employing specialized medical and logistical help or running longer-term projects designed to tackle health crises. At any time, some 30,000 doctors, nurses, midwives, epidemiologists, water and sanitation experts, and many other representing dozens of nationalities can be found providing assistance to some of the world's most vulnerable patients. They often work in remote locations and are often the first international aid workers to arrive at the scene of an emergency. So just a reminder that this is all for them and the speedrunners.